let's carry on building these buildings. We go live. Am I live? Let's see. I'm live. I need to tell you about this, but I need to create smaller buildings that I can populate this map area. So let's try and make my life a little bit easy. All of these contain enough. Add mesh cube. We're gonna do a rooftop. I can use every tile. I'm gonna do standard like flats and shops, but like square. I did look into the geometry nodes, but it is very it's a learning curve, shall I say. It's got a learning curve. Enough? What's that was? It is worse. That's actually quite nice there. Bang, 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 bang. The idea is if I build different parts I can swap out, I don't know. I can swap out the bottom and then the top, these sections. And this is always the same at the top, I don't know. I don't know if that would be the best way to... I would like to use geometry nodes, but just not confident enough to use them. I watched the whole series and stuff over and over, but nope, not now, not yet. I need to spend time on it. Would this be... What am I doing? I can just do set origin to 3D cursor. What do you mean? is it not? Wait, that's it. Why do you not extrude along normals? Oh, it does, but just for some reason I have to move the mouse really. It's crazy. I wonder if you can arrange put an arrange or array node on a whole group, or does it always have to be? I guess it has to be. I don't think you can put it. The face is inverted, or is that just the it's probably faces. That's just it. Actually, yeah, it's probably faces or face orientation. Right? No. So why is it on cycles broken? I don't know if my cycles. There's no camera. Is it just Z sort then? I'm not sure why these faces are not showing. Mystery. If I add a new mesh, does it? Oh. When it intersects with this, is the Z sort? Is that the Z draw? Oh, now it's working. So just move it like this and like this. And what? That don't make no sense. I just had that same issue here. I don't know. It's a mystery. Wow. I like that too. It's kind of skated up. But let's undo this. That's fixing something. Whatever is something wrong with the faces. I just can't figure out what. Like, what have I done here? What's this? Why have I got multiple versions? What's this up here and what's those? I don't know how I managed to do that, but apparently that was the issue. No idea, honestly. So the idea is, I don't know, I can't if I also go like this and then duplicate, then I could have like a 3-floor story. I wish I did. Man, should we just go learn some, should we just learn some geometry nodes? I don't know. I think it'll be much better because this seems actually long-winded. Let's pull up some videos on geometry mode. Turn the music off. Pull up a tab. Where's the one that I watched? It was a really simple, good one. History. I was watching it all last night. I was watching quite a lot of different ones, but this one was actually pretty good. Was I watching on a tablet? I think the tablet's like on a different account. Blender, geometry nodes. I think it was like building. But there's that one. It's this guy. Trong 3D. He did it in 2.9. Go. See my browser now. So
Hey guys, welcome to my channel.
I'm
John.
2.9.
Today I'm going to share with you how to create a procedural building in Blender 3D 2.93.
Not the same.
Before we dive into Blender, let me break down what we are going to do in this tutorial. First, we are going to create all the 3D elements that we need to clone later. And then we can start to clone the 3D element we created to form a wall using geometry.
So let's look at the elements that he creates. A wall. There's a wall with a window, a door, a pillar, and I think that's like a roof.
That we need to clone later. And then we can start to clone the 3D element we created to form a wall using geometry node. Then next we are going to replace the top row of the windows with the roof, and the bottom row of the windows replaced with the ground floor.
Okay.
And then the right column here replaced with the pillar. Then after we complete one side of wall, we can start to duplicate the wall and put it together. After putting it together, we can start to link it so that when we change the width, height and length properties, it will move together. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first select all and delete everything. And then press Shift A and add a plane. Rotate it 90 degrees. Press N to toggle the properties panel. Then change the dimension size. Selected.
Alright, that's a good breakdown there. So it has to be within a 1 by 1 meter. What about if you want just a solid wall? So he's just done windows. He done a window, door. He done these. But I guess I don't understand yet. I have to go through it properly. But say you want to place a door between that window, or you want a window, door, window, or you want window, window, door. I don't know. I guess I'll come back to it. But I guess these are the pieces he's created. This is actually quite good illustration. So let me push this to the side. Let's get rid of all this rubbish I made. Boom. Not this stuff. At least this stuff is okay. But we're gonna do geometry now. We're gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna try. Let me press save in case I mess up something. Right, so it says we're gonna start with a plane, right? And then he sets it it's already a one by one, but oh no, it's not. And then Control A, I'll just apply all transformations. So that's my 1 by 1 by 1. Now I need to model within this space. I see. Alright, so if I duplicate this, alright, and then just start doing some slices. I'm just gonna say through the long normal. Let's do. Maybe I should do basic version. Test it before I commit to build. Make sure I can do it. Right. Maybe I shouldn't worry about all of this. Add the mesh. Let's just. Should we just imagine it? Let's just see. Imagination. This is going to be the window. It's a big window. You know when you duplicate a mesh and it's set on random, but I actually didn't change it to random. Is it because it's? I mean, I guess it's just a slightly different tone of blue. That's gone to a different tone again. If I change it again, if I duplicate, oh, then it changed. So I guess it's got a certain number of. Let's just pretend this is one of the windows. So would I do join all of this up? So it has to be one mesh, I assume. I guess once you do all your materials and join it up. So that's your mesh. Super. What do I call this? Window. Window. Let's just pretend that's the window. I mean, even if I do the thing, right? Actually, I could just do it with. What am I doing? What am I doing? I can do this. We have different materials on there. We do the geo nodes, then we go back and model it. Alright. I think. So this plane here. So if I color code these. Hello. Good morning. So if we say wall. Just say plain wall. This is our plain wall, okay. And this one will be window with the little roof. Alright, so actually this is a window. Window. Alright, and let's make that whatever. Doesn't matter. Make it nice and bright. Alright, red. So red is gonna be assigned as a window with normal window with a wall. This one will be doorway. Wall door. So it's a wall with a doorway in it. Alright, this one will be. Oh, I didn't change the color. Let me change the color. Okay, this one will be shop window. Let's call this shop window. Shop window. Make that. I don't know. I want a balcony, so I want to do balconies. Some have balconies, so wall balcony. I think that's how you spell balcony. This one's, what's this one called? Wait, This one is... What did I do? I'm naming the material. Am I changing the materials for... I haven't been assigning the material. I've just been renaming the materials. Oh my god. Okay. Let's start again. Wool. Yeah, I've not been naming them. Okay. So this is wool balcony. This one will be new. Wool. Plain. Alright, just make that. This one will be wool window. Like that. This one will be wool doorway. This one will be wool window shop. Right, so wool balcony, window shop. Oh no. Okay, so make sure these look like they're all different colors. I'll just name these, I guess. Just repeat that again. Window. I'm kind of just rushing this right now, sorry. This one is the balcony. Alright, so I got these. Okay, and then what other pieces did he have? He has this. I guess this is the rooftop. Yeah, he kept that. That's the roof. And he has a pillar. So I need to make a pillar, a roof, and then he does a corner. Where's his illustration? He did a good illustration of that. So a pillar, I need to do a pillar, corner, this corner piece, which I guess is just a segment of this. And roof, okay. So if we duplicate this, right, this will be our pillar. So this is our pillar. We can make it blue. And what I'll do is just hit that. Boom, 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 boom. I know I could just put a cube there, but I'm being like, okay. Get rid of all that rubbish. Boom. So that's bang in the middle. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be. I guess we'll see. We'll see. So that's a pillar, and then duplicate this. Oh crap. I just did the same thing. I named the I keep on naming the material. Pillar. Ooh, everyone would just go wall pillar. Oh, wall. Pillar. And then this part. So does he? I'm looking at this. I'm going back and forth. It says flexible. So he's using, oh, he creates a grid volume. That makes sense, because then even if I just do colored planes, then these would apply straight to them whatever if I update those, right? In theory. So I should be able to do all this geometry node. Hey, I'm streaming, man. Don't leave them wrong. Where's the door? The pillar, this and that, okay. So what's this one called? This one would be called roof. And we'll give it a new material. Roof. Alright, we have a roof. We don't need these faces. Boom. So we got the roof piece, and then he made the corner piece from this. So I assume I can just duplicate this. Right, and just take that slice. Boom. Or maybe not the best slice to do. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff as I go. Okay. So I think I've got all the pieces. Right. Did he close off that edge?
Turn off the G.
Did he close that corner? I think he closed it off.
After finish the pillar, make sure the dimension of the Z-axis is remain to 1. And
So
then
it's
remember to
1.
press Ctrl A and apply the scale.
Okay.
After finish all the modeling, we need to move the origin of the 3D element to the bottom left back corner here. So press tab and go into edit mode. Select the vertices, press Shift S and select the cursor to selected. Press tab again and set the.
Okay, so we're setting the origin to the bottom corner of everything. Well, alright. Easy. Cursor to selected. Oh. Shift S, isn't it? Shift S. Just have to get used to that. And then tab. So it's 2. So I can do Shift S 2 and then tab object. Can I pop this out rather than having to always go to that menu? Like, wonder, can you pop out? You can't pop out tabs like Shift F2. Okay, Shift S2. So Shift S2 does work. Object. Keep on doing center by default. My brain's telling me to do that. Shift S2. Shortcuts are helping. Yeah, they are. But I guess my brain can't get used to it to like Shift S and then 2 and then tab object origin to cursor. Set, oh, didn't set that one. Shift S2. So I assume he's snapping he's setting the origin to the corners because you're gonna turn the pieces right on 90 degrees on this corner. So I guess if you rotate on this angle, like if you spin on this pivot, then with the geonodes, they just snap together like Lego. So if you do, you can go 0, then you could do 90 or something, then 180 or whatever, 270 or whatever, then you get a full cube. I don't know if that's right or if that's just the... Oh. I assume that's his... What am I doing again? Yeah, setting this... Shift S2 tab. Okay, so we have all of these done. Then do we just set, make sure the scale's all set? Do I set the transformation to 0 or is that fine? Let's see his one. His transformations, they are different, so that's fine.
In Node Editor, click New to apply and move the cursor to world origin. Then press Shift A and add a cube. And actually you can add whatever mesh you want, it's not important at all. In the Geometry Node Editor, click New to apply a geometry node to the cube. And then press Shift A, go to Mesh Primitive and add a grid.
Okay, grid.
Disconnect it.
Alright. So I'm trying to do this, listen to his instructions. So I'm afraid to move it, but I'll move it. I'm sure it's will be fine. Where's tools? There we go. Alright, so I said you could use any mesh, but do vertical split, geometry loads, new grid fill or something like this. See, I think it's a grid fill or grid. What is it called?
S again. You can add whatever mesh you want. It's
I'll just
not
listen
important
to
at
it
all.
as he
In
does
the geometry node editor, click new to apply a geometry node to the cube. And then press Shift A, go to mesh primitive and add a grid. Disconnect it. Then
It just
press
says
Shift
add
A
a grid. Mesh primitive add a grid. Or is it just called grid? So if I type grid, does grid come up?
again to add a point instance.
Grid. Grid. See, you have mesh to grid. There's different types of grid. So I guess I have to go mesh primitives grid. But what does that come under? Like if you was to search for it, like if I go Shift A and search grid. Oh, okay. So what was that house? I guess when I drag out, you get a completely different grid. You get a different search menu, so when you drag from the node. What are you doing, man? What does this go into?
In the object column, we use the eyedropper to select our windows. And then press Shift A again and add a transform node.
Wait, slow
Node
down,
to
man.
the cube. And then press Shift A, go point instance. Grid. Disconnect it. Then press Shift A again to add a point instance. In the object column, we use the eyedropper.
Point instance. Sorry, I know, like my window is very small on the second screen. Shift A. But they say point instance. Instance on point instance. I guess instance on points, right? No, this looks like a different thing. What is he doing? Point instance. Under what category? Under point instance. So Shift A, point. Distribute points in the volume, distribute points in the grid, points. There's no points unless it's because he's using the older version. Instances on points, instances 2 points, and maybe it's instances 2 points. What's his? Let's look at his node. Point instance.
In the
His object in geometry. Okay, I'm gonna get all the points instances. Okay, I don't know. Points. Not that. Points. Instance. So there's two instance on points instance. Are they the same thing or are they different? Generate points at the origin of an instance. Nested instances are affected by this node. Then you got this one. Generate a reference of geometry. So did they change? Is this node changed from whatever version 2? I assume because point instance, object collection. I don't have that. Or is it here? Pick instance. Geometry. I don't know now. I don't even know if this is an up to date. It's not up to date. Geometry to instance? do not know. Someone needs to help me right here. Because how did he get a picker and I don't get a picker? Does say, I don't think anyone say this. Blah, blah, blah. To anyone looking for points instance, it is now great. Instance on points, and you need to drag and drop your object into the geometry node pane to get the info. Oh, thank you. Give that a like. So you drag and drop your object into the geometry node pane to get the object info, then connect it from geometry to instance. Point separate is also called separate geometry. Okay, so yeah, I was right. The nodes have changed. I was on the right track. What did she say? She said so it's instance on point. So okay, so this is that one. I'm right about that one. Okay, so it's this one. At least I was on the right track. Let's grab. He said grab window. Which one's window? I don't know. Let's just do plain wool. So what do? Just drag. You get object info. Oh, I guess. Okay. You need to drag your object into the node object info, then connect it from geometry to instance. Okay, and then point separate is also called separate. That's something else. I guess they're just saying ahead of the thing.
The object column, we use the eyedropper to select our windows.
So the grid goes into geometry. I mean, what? Yes, what? That's what I'm saying. Does that go in here and that goes into here? Ah, something happened. What are you doing, Sarah?
And then press Shift A again and add a transform node. And then press Shift A again and add a transform node. Add it before the point instance.
I'm streaming, please.
But let me tell you about the greens. Can you remember that song?
Yeah.
The broccoli.
Broccoli song.
Then rotate the x-axis 90 degrees.
Transform. So transform. So can I just transform? Or is this different? I'm thinking you have to do Shift A. Search. Transfer. There's just like, to be honest, this search tree doesn't. It's just they need a toolbox like in Ventusi. You have all your tools here. You can just say, click on the category or the tab rather than go to menu here. And then like, oh, I need to find the transform. So what am I looking at? Where did he get his one from? A little bit frustrating compared
Add
to
it
that.
before the point instance. And then press Shift A again and add a transform node.
The geometry transform. So it's under geometry. See, the geometry. There's no transform here. What is this? Transform geometry? I think that's the only one I can see. I assume it's that.
Add it before the point instance. Then rotate the x-axis 90 degrees. And now you can see
They're stacking. Ah, you did work. Look at that.
our windows is overlapping
That'd be a bit
together.
of struggle.
The reason
kind
is
of
because
trying to figure out
if
this.
we refer to our grid, our instance object is actually cloned on every vertices on the grid. And currently the grid size is set to 1 meter by 1 meter, which is the size X and Y here.
Okay.
And if you remember, our windows is all made in
1
1
by
meter
1.
by 1 meter as well. That means
It's too
currently
big.
we have 2 meter by 2 meter squeezing on one is our grid size. In order to 2 meter by 2 meter, and now it's stick together. That means every time when we change the
you have to have plus extra vertices. So if I say 2, is it 2 by 2 then? So it does work. So this is a plain wall. So this wall we didn't really model. But then if I want to change this, oh, you can change it in here. That's cool. So if I wanted to change it to wall window. Now is that wall window? Or was it already wall window? Let's do wall pillar. So it does work. Okay. Wall plane. Okay, cool. So it is working. That's cool. I assume he's gonna do some maths here between these
value of vertices. Say we change the value manually every time. So in order to make it easy, and now we want to add a math node, a blank dot here, don't connect it to the geometry, and then go to the group tab here, select the vertices X, and rename it to width.
Okay.
And now we want to add a math node, press Shift A and go to utilities,
subtract
and add
one.
a math node. Connect the width from group input to the math node, and then change the function to subtract. And then
There's
in the
some
value
logic.
column,
You do
change it to
subtract
1,
one, and you
then
post
connect
that
the
back
value
into
to
the size X. Yeah.
That means now
I understand logic. I do understand logic. It's just I don't understand some of the names and how it works. I understand. My brain understands nodes, so use it in other softwares. So here you can. That's cool. So basically, you expose the properties that you want to edit outside. So you can just do it here in the property window here. So you expose all those fields. I guess whatever you here, you're exposing it out. So if we go here, you can see vertices X, vertices X, and then you can change that number, for example. So I understand the whole exposing and thing. Makes sense. Width. I think I spelled that right. Width. He goes maths node. So is it the same in this version? So where do you find maths nodes? Maths. Subtract 1. Width version here. This goes into here. Width. W-I-D-T-H. W-I-D-T-H. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Width. And then I guess we do the same for Y? Does he do the same for Y? I assume because he says I assume he does the same for Y. Did I just close the window? I accidentally closed the window. Oh no, I didn't. I minimized it. Okay.
we are sending our the vertices Y. Connect the vertices Y to the group input. Go to group tab. Select the vertices Y input to the math node. Then connect the value to size Y. And now we can play with the width and height at the modifier properties. And you can see everything is stick together perfectly. Okay, next
Okay, cool. That's cool. It's the same. I can just copy this, right? Copy this node and then put this into Y. This will go into here, and then this go into here, and then right. That's cool, right? Like it's like you made your own add-on kind of. It's a cool idea. I need to learn it. I do need to learn geometry in it. That's sick though. What happens? You can't go below 2. So that's the smallest. You can't do a 1 by 1, or can you? Oh, you can do 1 by 1. You have to type it in. Okay. It wouldn't let me drag for some reason. So I could build, make a building and say I want it this high, but for some reason, why does it start in the middle? In the middle. I mean, I'm not a problem. Maybe he'll tell you how to change the anchor point. We have a house. No, we have a wall. Okay, we have just the wall. Let me save it though, in case something happens. That's right. So the update is this node, or this node is changed. This is still the same. This is not just called. It's not called trans. It's under. So you go here, geometry transform. Where was it? It was under the geometry tab. Now I forgot where I found it. But it was like somewhere else, right? I don't know. I don't even know anymore where I found this transform geometry. It's fine. We'll figure it out as we go. We'll figure it out.
We can start to replace the top of the row here with our roof.
He does very good explanations on
press
that.
Shift A, go to point.
I wish he updated
and
it,
add a point separate node.
That's cool.
Then add it before the point instance. The function of this
node.
point separate node is...
Oh, someone said in here, the chat. So point separate node is now called separate geometry. Okay. So point separate node is now called separate geometry. So Shift A, separate. Separate geometry. So he added between after the transform and between the point instance.
Allow us to separate the point on this grid into 2 groups, and then we are able to assign 2 different instant objects to the grid. Like for example, now we only have the windows.
Hang on. Look at this. It says geometry 1, geometry 2, geometry and mask. And they have changed their one to, what is this? Selection. Can I take mask? No. So this has changed quite a lot. Maybe I'll point separate. So separate geometry. Anyone else mentioned this? Attribute separate XYZ is now just. There's a lot of stuff that's changed, right? 4 replies. Here you go. Thank you, legend. But now, how to use words to plug it in? Yes, I don't know how to do that part. Can someone explain? Okay, no one explains. Okay, we have to figure it out. I don't think. Let's see. It looks like there's lots of parts that have changed. It's a great video. Don't get me wrong, great video. I guess it's just outdated. So, selection. Wait, let me look at the note here. What's he gonna do with it? Let's see what he's actually gonna do
Code
with
on
it.
the grid. Then the separate point node is allow us to separate the point on the grid into two groups. Then we can replace another group of point with our roof. But of course, it's not just limited to two only. If you want to separate more point, we can actually adding more point separate node into the node tree. Okay, now we can name the mask roof.
Oh, so the mask
And
is
next,
actual.
we need to add an attribute separate XYZ.
So the
Then
mask
now we
is
want
you
to
set
get
an
the position
ID.
of every
So
point
mask is
on the
like an
grid.
ID.
So to do,
He's setting an ID for that, but here it doesn't give me that option. It says. I assume when you drag off this would give you the options that's available. Like if I type in mask, there's no mask. If I go Shift A and then search mask, nothing found. Maybe we have to look for a different. His video is really good, or maybe I have to find a different one. When was this one made? And another one. I like that. You can change the. Oh, that's cool. That's what I want. That's cool. And the lights as well. That's cool.
Change height and width and borders in between.
Oh, adverts, man.
Oh, I'm sorry for staring.
I used to have YouTube Premium, but
under mesh primitives, and
this
if I
is too
plug this
much.
one in,
It's not worth
well,
the price.
we get a plane. If I go now into my little X-ray mode and increase the vertices here, you can see the grid appearing. And yes, it's just a grid. And well, the good thing is now on all of these little intersections we have a vertex of change, which is half the length. The problem obviously is that this grid is too small. If I increase the size, you can see the amount of vertices that you get.
So it's got the same thing
without spaces. So if I have, I don't know, 12 vertices on the x-axis and put in 11 meters, then you see again, which can now be found.
So he's going to do the same thing, the subtract. So he's doing the same thing. This is updated version at least.
So if I hit shift and right click and drag something across, I can get these fine little cute node points.
Oh, he did a different type of maths because his one says add.
Now as well, we are making goodbye.
Sorry, I kind of skipping through. What's silly?
Into the size
what is
X,
this?
I'm going to create a new little thing.
It's like
now I have to rename it because one wide, same one with my model.
Do you
right click and drag something across, I can get these fine little cute node points here. And I'm going to duplicate my math nodes, drop it in between here, and use any type of rounding operation. I've used ceiling for my model. I don't know if it's really that important. Progress.
So he's rounding up his value if he drags it.
Size-wise. Our grid cannot be scaled to be just.
But why did you just use like? Is it not integers, or doesn't he have an option for integers and floats? So if you don't want to round it up, you just put it to integer, right?
Doesn't matter. In order to transform this from a weird floor to an actual wall, I will have to rotate it. There's this transform node. If I would plug it in here, I'm going to use a perfect. Don't rotate. Rotate a second. This entire the height. Read what I just wrote there. Clean to give it the illusion to one. And my goal is figure them
Sorry, I'm kind of
we have a
fast
nice
forwarding.
and clean 3x3 building. We can't get smaller than that, unfortunately. But honestly, I think that's you know, small enough. It looks ridiculous if to move it.
So
I
he's
kinda
built it as a
expect
cube. He
this
hasn't
to-
built it as separate walls.
This weird situation where this does one
Okay.
up. So
But
now
then
we
how
have
does
half
he
a
know the
meter, that's
corner?
kinda added
Let's see.
minus
I'm kind of jumping
multiply
ahead,
it,
sorry.
it's one value.
Bloody hell,
in
look at
between
this. Look at all
everything would
this
be fine.
math
So I'm just going
nodes.
to take this. First of all, I'm going to disconnect it.
Oh
So I'm
my
just going to
god.
take
Okay.
this output, and now it's perfectly in place. Was that easy to understand? I hope so. What I'm doing here is
I
essentially
hope
just
I
observing,
understand,
right?
yes.
If I make it wider, that's easy, but I just prefer the trial and error method. Around the nut happens. However, this connection, fixing past mistakes.
Okay.
Rotate it 90 degrees apparently. Floor perhaps, and the roof. All of that takes a little bit more time.
What about this?
I think it's good for you to just, you know, relax your brain a little, think about it, maybe imitate this thing that we put out. So that seemed to those walls, and I just hope you have a pleasant evening. Yeah, no, and you also have to concentrate on translating them in your head while you speak. But hey, still thanks for sticking around. It was a pleasure. Until next time, I hope you have a nice evening, and yeah, bye-bye. That we just did here are simply here to building, like move it up geometry 2 over here. However, we don't access somehow, and now you will see that our object has split in half. Around some, but add them though. Note, don't have to change anything here. We'll already took care of, and buttons that yet again
Adverts. Adverts.
at this point instance node.
Okay, so he
I
fixed
can
that
put in the
corner.
geometry here, take them into selection we just created, name to something like GF for ground floor, straight walls. And if in the far distant future your node group is ready and you want to have different building styles available, you can just build a couple preset collections and toggle through them using this input that we've just created. So that's it for now. Let me know what you think. Put questions in the
That's a
comments if you
cool
got them.
idea.
And I'm looking forward to the next tutorial. Hope you had fun and have a great evening.
This is outdated, check description. Part 2.5. So he does say it's outdated. It's 4 years.
Hey, hello. So I've been recording the next part of the tutorial, and
Obviously,
at the
he still
beginning of
works
it, I
with the
wanted to
lazy
do like a
nodes,
little
but will cause
intermission
problems in
where I
4.0
cleaned up some
and
things,
onwards.
but it turned out to be so long that I thought, you know what, let's put it in.
So when was this first video made? 4 years ago. I think I need to come back. I want definitely. Okay, I gotta do it. I gotta figure out how. I don't know where I'm gonna figure it out from, but this is 2021, so this is still old. So I'll come back, figure it out.
A couple of folks
I'll
asked
see you
quite
later
nicely
in the
if I
day,
could explain
hopefully.
how I made